Hey friends, welcome to our Utsuk YouTube channel. This is our part 21 video tutorial on Java programming. In this video tutorial, we're gonna discuss about the inheritance in Java. So let's move to the content. At first, we're gonna discuss about the inheritance in Java, and after that, we will look some of the terms that are widely used in Java. And after that, we'll discuss about the syntax of inheritance and types of inheritance, and finally, why to use inheritance in Java. Inheritance in Java is a mechanism in which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of a parent object. So generally the inheritance means the features of parent are inherited by the child. Create new classes that are built upon existing classes. So whenever we use the concept of inheritance, we create a new class based upon the existing class, and we can inherit the features of the parent class by the child class. So when you inherit from an existing class, you can reuse method and fields of the parent class. Moreover, you can add a new method and fields in your current class. That is, whenever you create the new class, you can even inherit the properties of the parent class, or you can add more functionality in the current class, that is in the child class. Terms used in inheritance. We generally use the term as subclass or the child class. It's the class which inherits the other class. That is, whenever we create the new class, then we can inherit from the parent class, and that new class which inherits from the parent is known as child class. It is also called a derived class, extended class, or a child class. And the next one is superclass or the parent class. Superclass is the class from where a subclass inherits the features. That is, it is considered as the superclass, and whenever the new class is created, the new class, that is child class, inherits from the superclass. It is also called a base class or a parent class. Syntax of inheritance. Here we define as a class is a keyword, and this is the subclass name. That is, this is the child class that we're gonna create, and this one is the superclass that we consider it as an existing class, and this we use extend keyword in order to inherit the properties of the superclass by the child class. And inside the class we define method and fields. So this extend indicates that you are making a new class that derives from an existing class. So let's discuss about types of inheritance in Java. There are basically three types of inheritance. Let's see this one by one. So single inheritance. In single inheritance, there is presence of one parent class, and the parent class properties are inherited by the child class. So let's see with the real life example as well. Suppose we have the class animal here. An animal have different properties like it can eat, walk, breathe, and whenever this parent class is defined, then we create another one class for the single inheritance, that is, let's say cat, and cat can inherit the properties like eat, walk, and breathe, and this child can even add the new properties to its own class, let's say meow, as a new class. So this one is the concept behind the single inheritance, that there will be one parent class and one child class, and the child class inherits the properties of a parent class, and this one is child class. So let's see this single inheritance in a practical way. So let's move to the NetBeans IDE. Let's open our NetBeans IDE. Let's create a project. Next, practice _20. Let's remove out this comment. Let's rename out this class single inheritance. At first, let's create one parent class, that is parent class, as class animal. So let's create outside of the main. Let's make one method as public void eat. Let's simply print out here message as eating. So let's create one child class here as child class cat extends animal. And now let's create one method here. Let's make this as public and class name as meow, meow, and s out. So this one is the here child class. So child class cat extends the animals. This means that this child class inherits the properties of animal class. So let's see. Now let's make the object of the child class. As in the concept of inheritance, we always make the object of the child class and access the functionality of child as well as the parent class. As let's create the object cat obj1 equals to new cat. So we make the child class object. Now with the help of child class object, it's obvious that we can access the method that are defined in the child class, but we can also access the method that is defined in parent class, that is eat. Let's see. I call this as method, and with the help of same object we can even access the functionality of the parent class, that is eat. So whenever we run this program, we get that it's from the child class and this eating is from the parent class that we have defined here. So in this way we can access both the functionality of the child class as well as the parent class with the concept of single inheritance. So let's see another type of inheritance, that is multi-level inheritance. So in multi-level inheritance there is one parent class and the properties of parent class is extended by the child class, and again this child class acts as the parent class for another class, that is class C. Then this child class extends from this parent class, and again this class extends from its parent, that is class A. So in this way we can achieve the multi-level inheritance. So let's see with the practical example here. Suppose that we have animal class and it has functionality of eat, walk, breathe, and we have the cat as a child class. Again this child class acts as the parent class for next class, that is another one child class, and it inherits the properties of this class. So let's see this in a practical way in our NetBeans IDE. Let's move to the NetBeans IDE. Let's create here one new Java class as multi-level inheritance. So let's remove out this. Now let's create a class as animal. This acts as the parent class, and let's create one method. Let's make this public void eat as same in single inheritance. S out eating. So let's create another child class as this one will be class cat again, and let's create another method as public void meow, and it simply print out the message as meow. And now this should extend the parent class animal. Up to here this is the single level inheritance, but for achieving the multi-level inheritance let's create another one class as a child class. This one is first child class and this one will be second child class as class kitten. extends, we can say this as it extends the cat, that is it achieves the multi-level inheritance, and the parent of this kitten class is the cat class, and the parent of this cat class is animal here. So let's make here one method as public void drink milk. Simply this prints the drinking milk. So let's create the object of this child class as of child class 2 and achieve the functionality of multi-level inheritance. As from the main method, we're gonna create the object of kitten class. So let's make this name with capital K, as class name should always follow the proper case. KITT and kitten obj1 equals to new KITT and kitten. So we have created one object of the kitten class. Now let's obtain the multi-level inheritance concept using the object that we have created of the child class as obj1. Now let's achieve the functionality of this drink milk method at first, which is of the same kitten class. Now again let's achieve the functionality of cat class, as in cat class we have defined the method as meow. So meow. Now we can even achieve the functionality of this animal class also, because from the cat class we have achieved the functionality of animal class, and due to this inheritance we can even inherit the properties of animal class by the lower one child class, that is kitten class. So let's achieve this as obj1 dot eat. So whenever we run this program, let's run this, we can achieve both the functionality of the cat and the animal as well. So at first it's giving the drink milk method, and after that it's giving the value of this cat class, and finally the parent class, that is animal class. So in this way we can achieve the multi-level inheritance in Java. So let's see another type of inheritance, that is hierarchical inheritance. So in hierarchical inheritance there is one parent class and multiple child can inherit from the parent class here, as class B and class C gonna inherit from the class A, and both of this child class has parent class as class A. So let's see with the real life example, as we have animal class again, and if we have two child class, that is cat class and dog class, then this both of this class can inherit from the animal class. So this one is the parent class here, and this two of this class acts as the child class. So let's understand this in a practical way. So let's move to the NetBeans IDE. So let's create another class as hierarchical class. Finished. Let's remove out this. Now let's create a parent class here as parent class animal and public void. Let's create the same method here also. Now let's create one child class as class cat again, animal. Let's create one method here. So this one here as sout. Now again let's make another child class dog. So again this dog class extends the animal class, that is dog class inherits from the animal class. So animal, let's create one method here as public void bark shout. So let's create the object of these two class as dog and cat from the main method, that is psvm. Let's create first object of cat class. Now let's access the method of its own class, that is meow, and let's access the parent class also. So with the help of this obj1, we can only access its own method and the parent class method eat, but we cannot access this bark in a dog class because this one does not extend from the dog class, but it only extends from the parent class, that is animal. So here if we try to access the bark here, this gives an error saying that cannot find symbol. So in order to access this method, we need to create the object of that class, that is dog obj2 equals to new dog. So now with the help of this obj2, we can access parent class method as eat, and we can even access its own method as bark. But again, if we try to access the method of this cat class, then this gives error as this dog class has not extends this cat class. So this is the concept behind the hierarchical inheritance. So let's run this program. So it's giving this from this object, and this one is the from the parent class, and from the obj2 we are accessing eat method that is defined in animal class. So it's giving here eating, and with the obj2 we are accessing the bark method that is defined inside its own class, that is dog. So in this way we can achieve the hierarchical inheritance in Java. So there is one another concept of inheritance, that is multiple inheritance. As in multiple inheritance, there are many parent class, but single child class achieves the functionality of the many of the parent class. But this concept is not supported in Java. So we cannot achieve this functionality of multiple inheritance in Java. As multiple inheritance cannot be achieved in Java, this is because suppose we have defined one method in class A, and in class B also, if we define the method with the same name that we defined in class A, then it's gonna create the ambiguity whenever the child class inherits the properties of parent A class and parent B class. So due to this ambiguity problem, Java does not support the multiple inheritance. So why to use inheritance in Java? It is because for method overriding, as method overriding is the concept of runtime polymorphism that we will discuss in our next lecture video about polymorphism in Java. So in order to achieve the method overriding or runtime polymorphism, we use concept of inheritance, and for the code reusability. As if we define the method in a parent, then if you want to access it from another class, then you should not have to write that same code again and again, but you can use that method from the child class and simply use the keyword extends in order to achieve the inheritance concept. So I hope that you have understood the concept of inheritance in Java and the types of inheritance. So in our next lecture video, we will be discussing about the polymorphism in Java, and at that time we will be discussing about the method overriding as well. So we will meet you in our next lecture video. Till then, goodbye.